Hello there everyone. So I wanted to do another video, another tell me about, and this one is about the active phase of labour. So this is following on from my latent stage of labour video that I did a little while ago, and I'm going to explain in this video all about what the active phase of labour is. And this is the next stage on the journey to meet your baby. You move into this active phase when the cervix, the opening to the uterus or womb, is dilated or open beyond 4 to 5 centimetres, so about kind of the diameter of a line, something like that. So you're on your way to that magical 10 centimetres dilation. How do you know if you're in active labour? So you'll notice at this point in labour, the surges or contractions come into a more regular pattern, no more stop-start as you can get in that early latent phase. The surges will last around about a minute and they come on average every 10 minutes. And they feel different to the latent phase tightenings. They're higher up in your abdomen and they can be significantly stronger. And they'll continue whether you're sitting or lying or standing. They kind of stop you in your tracks. There's little option to talk or walk. You have to focus on each surge, on your breathing, and on moving maybe in a way that feels good. You also may have a show in this phase when the mucus plug of the cervix is released. That could be in the earlier stage as well. It's a jelly-like plug. Some people say it looks like snot. It might be clear, streaked with a little bit of pinkish blood, sometimes a bit brown with old blood. If the sac around baby bursts, there can be a trickle or a gush of fluid. And if this happens, let your midwife or let triage know. The end of the active stage is that the cervix is fully opened or dilated to 10 centimetres. It's moved completely out of the way, and now we have an exit pathway for baby soon to be born. This stage of labour, the active phase, can take maybe 12 to 14 hours. Sometimes it can be longer, sometimes it can be shorter. What to do in this phase? So you should be free to eat and drink as you feel you want to. Staying hydrated, particularly important, even if you don't feel like eating, even if you can't really keep food down. And if you don't feel like eating much or only small amounts, think of things with a good amount of energy in. Could just be a spoonful of honey, really simply, or energy drinks, glucose sweets. They can be useful when your womb, your uterus, is working really hard through those surges or contractions. Feel free, of course, to move around in ways that feel good, that can help your baby to move down. You might be using a TENS machine. You might want to get into the birth pool now during this active stage of labour. You could still be listening to one of your hypnobirthing relaxations, or your birth partner might read one to you. You might be putting on a playlist of music, of relaxing music, anything to stay in your birth bubble. So keep using all the techniques that you've learned, keep your oxytocin flowing, trying to stay calm and focused and relaxed through each of the surges, even though this might be quite intense. You might want some pain relief in this stage to cope with the intensity, maybe some gas and air, maybe some pethidine, maybe even an epidural. There's lots of choices there. You'll move in this phase to the place that you'll be birthing your baby if you've not already, so to the hospital or the birth centre if you're not planning a home birth. And don't forget, the amount of time you were in the early or the latent stage of labour is not at all an indicator of how long the active labour will be. Just take each surge or contraction one at a time. If you have any worries, of course, if you're in any part of your labour, call your midwife or call triage. Once your cervix is fully opened, so the end of this active phase is when the cervix is fully opened, you then move into what's known as transition and then into the birthing stage. And then, after you've met your baby, into the third stage, the placenta arriving. So I'll produce some more videos on those distinct phases really soon. So I hope this helps you kind of understand the birth process a little bit better. I think it's really important to have this knowledge, because knowledge when you're pregnant about labour and birth really is power. Any questions at all, anything else I can do to help, just let me know. And thank you for listening.